This is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is I got into a preview of Superman. So this is a review of Superman. They released it here a day early, and I got into it. This is John night, but if he wants to go and see it again, go see it again. But yeah, I just thought, so I'm gonna review it. There'll probably be spoilers, but sure. Because preview thing. They gave out a little pin too, which you probably wouldn't see anyway. So we'll ignore the pin. And all the previews. There was a wacky space movie, sort of a mobster movie, and something else. A couple other things. Previews weren't that exciting. The audience was not as hecklery as the heckling. They weren't heckling like the Jurassic Park one. They were more serious and subdued. They were unsure what this is going to be about. Some of them were fans of the Peacemaker show. I haven't seen it, so I couldn't know. I did see the remake of Suicide Squad by James Gunn, and I did see all the other DC movies. I've seen them all. The one everyone likes is the Aquaman movie. That's because the director, James Wan, was like, I'm just going to do it like a Marvel movie. He just copied the Marvel script and did it with Aquaman. James Gunn kind of does the same thing with this one. A 3-act story. Opening our story with well, it's in the trailer. I won't spoilery review everything. I probably won't go super in depth anyway into another one. Other people will do that. There's a Steve Shives preview that he did on his channel where he's like, the Snyder Bros and the conservatives are already complaining about the movie, but they haven't seen it yet, which is probably true, and they probably won't see it. So that's also probably true. I mean, they just won't. They like their version of Superman different. And the Henry Cavill Superman was quite different from the original. With the Zack Snyder version of the universe, it was like he was just good. He was almost evil. He wanted to punch the bad guys, and has a messianic complex and all this other stuff, which doesn't describe him. It describes Lex Luthor, not Superman. Although, as they pointed out in one of the other things, Truth, Justice, and the American Way was added in the 50s, around the same time God We Trust was put on the money, in the 50s. Not that long ago, the 50s, 70 years ago. So all that other stuff was added later. So you gotta tell from the trailers, it's gonna be quite different. You gotta tell from the opening scene, it's a nod to the New 52 comics, a nod to the later stuff, the combined aligned universe after the Crisis on Infinite Earth scenario. So I know that much. That's what they're doing. As opposed to over there in Marvel, it was Avengers and that version of it. This is DC. Scott from the church had gone over to DC while this was in production. Left Star Trek Online. There seems to be a cameo in the movie. Saying a very funny line, I won't give it away. There's also another cameo by another character cast. There's a couple of cameos. So that's cool. So we'll go on to the movie, and the Superman shouldn't be angry and brooding and that stuff. When they did those other movies, they were not quite getting it right because they wanted to do the Superman Returns comic book from the 80s, was the beginning of the angst of the 80s, of which the comic book Watchmen spoofs, and Snyder got to direct Watchmen. Snyder got to direct Watchmen as well, and thought that's how the whole universe should be. Like, Watchmen was spoofing that. Say, the superheroes are demigods and they're gonna be brooding and mean. No, it just didn't work. Also, the Superman versus Batman movie how they stop fighting is ludicrous, with them both realizing their mother's name is Martha. I kid you not. But yeah, so that happened in the movie. Yeah, Justice League didn't really work so well. So I'm not a Snyder bro. I've seen both versions of Justice League. I say the Snyder's version is better than Joss's version, Joss Whedon's version. But it's still a slog at times to watch that. Yeah, so yeah, James Gunn going over from Marvel to DC. He did it before with the Suicide Squad 2. I consider that sequel the Suicide Squad 2 because he follows up on the first one. It's part 2. It isn't called that. It's called The Suicide Squad, but it should be Suicide Squad 2. That's what it should be called because the same characters do another adventure. It's a sequel. This one is a sequel reboot as well. And actually, if they wanted to do a Shazam movie or a Lobo movie, but a Shazam movie, they never showed Superman's face when he came up and said to Shazam, "We need to talk." You don't get to see who it is, so it still work. Or maybe they did. Maybe it was Henry Cavill. Yeah, maybe they did for that one. Maybe they're going to do the first Shazam movie. But it's DC, so we can go on about that. So we have the second Shazam movie, which was meant with the young guy, was meant to be the introduction of Black Adam. But in the Black Adam movie, when he says, "Oh, we need to talk," that's at the end of the Black Adam movie. So if they did a sequel of Black Adam or Shazam, they could. So you're introduced to the characters and story and all that early on in this production. There's a little backstory. It's fun because it's a Kal Kat backstory. Because I said to Scott, was going over to work with DC, I said to him, if they do a scene where they film the Hall of Justice from Super Friends in the movie, and we see the hot girl and Terrific and all of them in there, in the Lantern, the X Generation fans, us included, would absolutely lose our minds. Do that in the movie. Have the fanfare in the movie. James Gunn. Well done, sir. Well done. Yeah. They not only show the building once, they show it twice. It's the Justice League, the Super Friends, OG. That's kind of in there. And yeah, there's spoiler. Yes, it's in there. So go see it. All you X-Gen guys. X-Gen guys. But yes, Lex Luthor is played more like a delicious evil, evil sort of diabolical. Diabolical evil guy on a par with. You can tell he's chewing scenery. That's why it's delicious. He's not delicious. Chewing scenery is delicious. Oh my! And he chews the scenery like the Lex Luthor from the Infinite Crisis TV show, which I did see as well. So they got somebody that's similar to him. They also got somebody similar to the Smallville Superman in Mr. Hornsweat. And not Henry, Hornsweat. Odd last name. I'm not sure who the Lois character. She looks familiar though. The Ma and Pa Kent look familiar. I'm not going to look everybody up. It doesn't matter. Just they're in there. He got actors that weren't super well known because, well, it's cheaper that way. And also, wanted them to emulate some of the other actions. The costume emulates the 2000s after the 52 characters, and that's fine. And some of it goes back to the OG costume with the wrestler shorts, because originally Superman was in the OG series had those red shorts. It looks silly, but so it's supposed to. He's a luchador or something, a wrestler. He didn't fly. Originally, he leapt tall buildings like he jumped, bound, and he would fight the locomotive. Or more powerful than only a locomotive. Yeah, but yeah. The guitar riff of the original score works in the movie quite well. The hilarious fake punk song, I won't give that up, but it's funny. It plays at the end. It was like something out of a Clint Cowpoke sketch. I love it. But they filmed this elsewhere. They didn't film it like locally or anything. Obviously they didn't. You would know that happened. No, they filmed it in different places. They set it up looking like Metropolis. Metropolis is supposed to be an anagram for New York, but it's near New York. Yeah, sort of like how Gotham is supposed to be near New York. They kind of imply that Pittsburgh is next door, and so would Newark be, and Trenton. I was assumed that Metropolis was just Newark, New Jersey, or something, the other side, or Baltimore or something. But sure, okay. Yeah, so they filmed it in a town that looked enough like it back in the day to do a lot of effects and change things. We have characters coming in and out there's kaijus, they're fighting the other things. Although the Justice Gang, as they call them in the movie, are not the ones we're familiar with. They are from the comic books. They're slightly different because they figured, well, if we just have Wonder Woman and Aquaman again, we already did that. Let's have 2 or 3 different people. Also kind of fix that Justice Society problem we had with Black Adam, in which the Justice Society is just wiped out, like half of them. They didn't do Dr. Fate right. We won't address that. And that Hawk Girl is mean, but she's calling a callback to Hawkman from of course the series, and Hawk Girl the series comics. There's also a callback to the other thing, the Flash Gordon as well. So there's a Flash Gordon like scene that happens in the movie. I won't give it away. We don't want to give away everything. Okay, so yeah. Story beat wise, our basic plot of the movie begins, and it's great. It's the best movie of the year so far. Not just saying that because I got to go to a preview. Yeah, totally am. Totally a show for DC. Yeah, and Warner Brothers. Yeah, no. But yeah, there was a. It was So it opens with Superman with a text scroll telling us Superman's got whooped in a fight by this alien that has Superman-like powers. You immediately know the twist with that. I won't go into that, but you'll guess what the twist is. But that's fine. That's cool. There are these two evil. There's 2 countries that were fighting. Superman stopped the countries from fighting, but Lex is doing the old Transformers Quintessons thing here. He's got them pitted against each other. There was an episode of Transformers where the Quintessons had these 2 alien races pitted against each other, a la the Cold War, and this story kind of does the same deal. James Gunn is a Transformers fan as well. Why don't they let him do a Transformers movie instead of bringing Michael Bay back? Let him direct one. But no, he's busy with the new DCEU under James Gunn, so he won't be doing that. But it'd be cool. So what other properties does Warner Brothers own that they want to do? Yeah, he's a showrunner over there now. But yeah, the Lex Luthor character plays a multi-billionaire, richest guy on the planet type of guy. It's obvious who they're spoofing, right? It's obvious who they're spoofing. Although in the original comics, back to the original 30s and 40s comics, he kind of always was like that. Of course, back then in the 30s, he was just a millionaire, because that was a lot of money back then. Just a millionaire, not a billionaire. But yes, he was always like that. So if the right-wingers are complaining Lex Luthor is acting like a certain person that owns X Twitter out there, he's supposed to. He's a tech bro. He's like an evil version of the later character invented by Marvel called Tony Stark. Tony Stark is about the Iron Man, builds the Iron Man thing. Yeah, there was also a nod to Ultraman in the story. There was an Ultraman. So they kind of give away what they're doing in the movie, if you just look close enough, and there's all these little quips in there. I'm like, oh, should I give it away? No, I'm not gonna give it away. I just kept going with it, and the audience is like, don't give it away. Don't give it away if you know something. I don't. I have a feeling. That's all. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I turned out to be right on most of it. But yeah, the pocket universe, I would not have thought of him doing that part. That's a little later in the video games and stuff, and some of the later comics. And there's no the pocket universe that comes up in there. Put the guy in the pocket universe. It's a little bit of a reinvention of that whole mother box thing, from which sounded silly in the other one. It's a little bit of a reinvention of that. There's a Grobthar's hammer type of guy. So clearly there's a nod to Galaxy Quest in there. But and Thor, of course. Galaxy Quest got it from Thor. And the Pocket Universe thing has been used several times. Most recently in Alt Transformers Mush, the animated the series, which apparently they have watched. Good. More views over on my reviews channel. Great. Yes, the Pocket Universe. Also, I did something like that with Star Trek a few times in my Star Trek fan films. So, but I was kind of doing a comic booky type of thing. So it's not exactly the same, but it is similar. They have space bridges. It's right out of Transformers. Yeah, I didn't invent space bridges. I just used them. I didn't invent the Dead Universe or whatever, or the Pocket Universe. I just used them. So it's not mine. I didn't own the space bridges. Although having a space bridge referenced in this movie, James Gunn, yes, another chef's kiss. Love it. Space bridge. It's entirely different. It's Paramount technically, but okay. Reference space bridges. Okay. What? Okay, fine. A convenient way to bring in whatever else they want to bring in. Later. I'm not sure who the shape changer guy was. It's got to be somebody familiar, but I just don't know. It's not Russian Manhunter. He makes a kryptonite hand at one point. I'm not gonna linearly give away this whole movie. It's all kind of a jumble, but yeah. So it starts off with Superman having been beaten by Ultraman. There's your hint. So it's not very hard to figure out what's going on. It's not the Japanese Ultraman, but yes. And there's and then he's got to go back, but these robots show up and they show sentience even though they say they don't. The robots repair him. He goes back, and they to do that. Then there's Superman is already with Lois. There's an interview scene about the war after that, after he gets back. I won't go through point by point the whole movie. You're not here for that. Somebody else can do that. They already know each other. They somehow see through the glasses and the haircut and all that. They do address that in the movie, by the way. They address why the glasses would work. Yeah. But they kind of did in the Donner stuff. I also like how the John Williams score is used in throughout, not embarrassingly so like in Superman Returns, but rather just in the right places. The music works in the right places. Especially that funny fake punk song at the end. That was great. But yes, on the end credits, there's the visuals. You do get the slow-mos and the fast-mos of the other ones. They do have some of that in there. Fight sequences are extant. The special effects are good to great at times. Good to great. The nanite stuff is a little wonky, but nanites usually are. She's a Borg lady. She's probably from the comics. I think they all are. Mr. Terrific with a giant T in his face. And just so they don't complain about immediately, Jon Stewart, that's the comedian guy, and why is this bowl haircut like that and everything? That's actually a Green Lantern character. If you know your Green Lantern history, it's not the Hal Jordan one, it's the other guy. It's Jon Stewart, the other guy. I think that's what that is, yeah. I think that's what that is. And yes, he did have a funny bowl cut haircut in the 80s, that character. It doesn't take place in the 80s, though. I think this takes place contemporarily. But it works because they address that as well. They say, why do you have that Spock haircut? But yeah, he says the chicks dig it, but they don't. But yes, but yeah, he's an older, I think it's Nathan Fillion playing that guy, I think, which is funny. Because he's an older Green Lantern. He's like a, I think that's who that is. But yeah, from Firefly. So you have this, yeah, and a hot girl, and so there's somebody famous in it. So you have you've got Superman's conflicted about having he has to save people, but unlike the Cavill Superman, who at one point the Cavill version, Martha Kent tells him, you don't really owe the humans, you don't owe us the humans anything. And yeah, the parents in that movie were kind of vague, and they were like, oh you don't need to help humanity. It's like, no, he does, because he's Superman. And that comes up in the story because there's like he gets framed in the story so that Lex Luthor can grab him. He gets framed. Yeah, spoilers. And that Pocket Universe scene happens and all that. He gets framed, but the footage may not be fixed. It may be actually real footage. There's a lot of he just didn't read it right. And then later on, there's like that message from Pa Kent saying, actually, she's a good guy. You're a good guy, even if you were raised by us, even if that stuff that we were framed for, that kind of thing. You're still a good guy. So that's cool. That's in there. And I think a lot of these lines are kind of like a deconstruction, like wink and a nod directly to the internet bros all the way throughout this movie. He's like, and it's not like the Joker 2 where the director was like, I'm just going to deconstruct the other movies so to the point that it doesn't even matter because I don't like the bros making fun of my movie. No, James Gunn is thoroughly in on the gag, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to make fun of those tech bros. I'm going to make fun of them a lot, and you're going to like it and think it's funny because because it is. Yeah. The main thing, and that's probably what's upset the right wingers. Just reading synopsis, they haven't watched the movie because they're like, wait a minute, how dare you make fun of the rich tech bro guy and all of his tech bro friends making up the story about Superman and wherever. How dare you do that? Our fee-wee-wees are hurt. You're making fun of us directly, Zack Snyder. You're making fun of Zack Snyder directly, I should say. And James Gunn, you're making fun of him. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's like, yeah, we're making fun of Snyder bros because they suck. But then again, he turns around at times and says he's kind of an asshole sometimes, which is from Guardians of the Galaxy, but apparently here too as well. So there are, he's basically good. He doesn't want to destroy everybody. Doesn't want to rule over them. There's a harem line in there. He stole that from a Kal Kat story. There's a lot of stuff in here that's like heavily influenced by Starship locations and Star Trek Online and stuff like that. Starship locations, fan film, Star Trek Online, actual thing. The fan films are real too, but they're non-com and they're not official and they're fan films. It's like, why are you referencing my fan films? Okay, go ahead. But still, I'm not making any money at all. They're free, no AdSense. But it's still funny. I was laughing. I'm enjoying it. But yeah, the Snyderverse is just not a. I probably keep saying Snyder when I mean James Gunn fixing what Snyder did. But yeah, so Snyder Bros are upset about the movie that they aren't going to see because he's just too nice. He's a Boy Scout. Superman is a Boy Scout. He's a hero. He's not supposed to be brooding and angry, and they don't like that. Now, Gordon Sweat was doing a fairly good job of channeling I would say more the Smallville Superman than the one from Christopher Reeve. Although there's a little bit of that in there. So the Smallville Superman. So, yeah, cool. So if you like that, it's Smallville. Yeah. So so that works. It works. Yeah, he's got a hit on his hands. Yeah, our early screening, full theater, everybody there, all happy when they got out. Some of them were wearing the shirt and everything. I wanted to find the shirt. I couldn't find it in the mall. It's gone. He must have got the only one. So also there's also there's somebody was wearing a Transformers shirt, Japanese Transformers like Autobot shirt. But yeah, there was some other influencers in there, which was cool, and yeah, we'll see what their channel says. But yeah, so that was cool. And it was interesting. Yeah, so I don't want to give away the whole thing. I don't really want to go into the plot, really. Yeah, basically frame up. They've got a Justice League or Justice Gang, as they call themselves. They've got to rescue him from the interdimensional prison that Lex Luthor has built, and then try to figure out how to stop Lex Luthor's plan. Also, he has his hench lady. Oh yeah, Jimmy Olsen has an inside mole who's a crazy hench lady thing, who is like just about every crazy wackadoodle girlfriend you ever had, myself included. On occasion, I've had a few wackadoodle ones, and they ended up being wackadoodle. But clearly, the alt-right is mad about that character because she's clearly a spoof, an amalgamation spoof of literally every Fox News reporter lady ever, and he's clearly like chap 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 telegraphic what, like Lex Luthor was his guy that he's got programmed to hit Superman. Gunn is pulling the strings, as they say in the as they said in the ancient the Ed Wood movies. Pull the string, pull the string. Yes, yeah, he is going hard. Like, okay, I'm not just making fun of him, and he does it in such a way that you're actually enjoying it. I think some of the alt-right people might actually like this movie. They can root for Lex. Relax. Oh, well, if they want to, root for the bad guy. But yeah, when your good guy and your bad guy are kind of similar, that's a problem. In the Snyderverse, Lex Luthor was completely wrong. He was acting like the Riddler. Lex Luthor is not going to fly off the handle like that until he's cornered. He's going to be more sneaky and conniving, and he's not going to act like that. Yeah, they were playing him like the Riddler. He wasn't the Riddler. He's Lex Luthor. He's supposed to be evil and conniving and sneaky and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and clever, and a genius. He's like a super genius. And I liked how the building, how they escaped the. Oh, it just so happens there's some weird coincidences in this. There's a scene where the building escapes. It's just funny. It's like, oh, it just happens. Oh, the crack in the planet, which is in the trailer, just happens to go under the building that they happen to be in. Like, how? Come on, kid. There is some goofy stuff. Dog carrying him off, super dog. So clearly it's his dog or someone else's dog or something. I won't give that away. That's the funny scene. Yeah, we get another clue as to who that is and who that other person is in there. I think they've already given that away, but I'm not going to give it away. But yeah, there's all kinds of fun jabs in here. And Lex Luthor is a crazy son of a bitch. You're not supposed to root for that guy. They built a time warp thing in it. You guys like space black holes going on, which would destroy the Earth, but yeah. Ignoring that, there's this scene which is brilliant James Gunn goofiness where he did a couple of brilliant scenes. There's a scene in which I don't want to call him Taskmaster, but he's not. He was terrific. He's fighting the bad guys, and they do like a panorama bullet time thing. He's fighting the bad guys. And Lois Lane's in a bubble, a red bubble. There's a scene in which there's another scene in which Superman and Lois Lane are talking after a battle, and there's a scene earlier on, and there's like the Justice Gang is fighting in the background, fighting a interdimensional Cthulhu thing. It's just like fighting out there. That's a Kal Kat scene. It totally is. And they're just out there going, ah! And then he's all, oh, ignore them. They'll be fine. They can handle it. Great. This is what you want in a DC movie. You want it to be fun. You want it to be brooding and dark. You want it to be fun. You can have some brooding and dark stuff later. Like, if they ever adapt Teen Titans, the Trigon thing, which they need to, that'll be dark, but it'll be still fun, though. They will do that. That kind of leads into this one a little bit. They do, yeah, we could redo the Teen Titans. Teen Titans. This doesn't really set up the Teen Titans, although, yeah, that would be the story to do. That'd be cool. But yeah, yeah, DC was trying so desperately to catch up to Marvel that they just kind of didn't. And now Marvel is pulled back a little bit. Isn't doing as well because it overdid it with the multiverse stuff. And then my fan films and the Trendtech Legacy and the Star Trek Legacy fan films, I said, this is how to do a multiverse. Here I'm going to do it. And I showed them. This is how to do it. You have the multiverse, you put your characters in your multiverse. You don't have a million characters in it because it's too confusing. You have a team that goes into the multiverse, does what they have to do, fights the bad guy, and gets out. That's how you do it. You don't do Ant-Man Quantum Mania and have like 50 guys running around. It doesn't work. Unless it's Q, in which case Q can do what he likes. Unless it's the Primes. But even there in the Transformers Primes thing, you have the Primes standing there. And there's just a few guys. And they're talking to the good guys. And there are a few guys. And their archetypes are similar, so you don't need 50 guys. The newest script that we've got here for Legacy, Transform Legacy, is kind of similar. This planet they go to that's out of space-time. They got to get off the planet before the Lou meets them. Very similar to the plot of Prodigy, but it's a sequel to that. But yeah. So we have free Star Trek story. No AdSense. But that's different. This is how to do multiverse. This is how this movie is, ergo, the Superman movie is how to do a Superman movie. You make him, he's still a Boy Scout. He's still truth, justice, and the American way. He's still going to do good, even if others tell him he's not good and he's actually out to get stuff. And that makes the character have depth if he's confused and misunderstood. But not misunderstood in the way that he has a pity party about it. Isn't really. He's kind of mad about it. So he's not in the way of so the right wingers should like that too. Because they like the martyrdom stuff. You think they'd like that part. There's a little bit of a martyr complex going on. That's in the story. It's implicit in the story. But he learns from it and goes beyond it and says, yeah, I've screwed up this thing. I'm here and I'm screwing up. And he needs help. But he realizes he needs help from his friends and he gets them. And yeah, so that is the character we picked. Yeah, so James Gunn understood what to do with a character and how to go about it. He used the Legacy comic books, a different Legacy, obviously, and a different from the Star Trek Legacy game, of course, obviously. Some of the movie covers, seen some of the scenes from the trailer where they show what amounts to comic book covers from, like them doing a pose from a comic book cover. Every now and then, it's like watching a comic book. It's come to life. It's really cool. Yeah, best movie of the year. I would go into the plot key elements, but I've just kind of brushed over it. I'd rather do that instead, and let other people analyze the crap out of it who are more experts on DC. And I'm just gonna say, yeah, go and see it, enjoy it and stuff. And after all, this was a preview. But I'm not going to go and do another in-depth review. I'll leave that to the Angry Joe people and the Campy Show and people and those other two influencers that are written there. I'll leave it to them. But yes, I thought it was funny that That's great. The dialogue, he does know how to do character development. He really nails character development. You actually feel for the characters. That was one thing I wanted to point out. Unlike the Snyder Bro one where they're just all, we're trying to puff up our chests and make us sound cool because we said a cool line. No, he's all like, I'm going to have him say a cool line, but that's after some other cool lines happen. And they actually make sense. You can't just say, oh, I'm a badass. I'm going to kick some butt. No, it's like all this other stuff happened first. Yeah, because then it makes the character compelling and interesting. If the character has hubris and isn't just, and has, as well as hubris, has a bit of a, gets angry, gets happy, whatever, a human kind of character. They're upset that he's an immigrant for some reason. He's an immigrant from outer space. Guys, it's been like that since the 30s. He's from space, from another planet. Don't worry about it. They have that martyr complex. They have that sort of, oh, pity me complex about stuff like that. But, I can see why they would be mad about Lex Luthor, but they should like that character. They should be into that character. But yeah, it's like, there's a scene in there where the audience is like, oh, the audience had an epiphany about a third of the way through when they do the blogger thing with the blogger angry people in third act epiphany, and the entire audience realized what they were spoofing, and they were like, I was like, yes, that's who they're making fun of. Yeah. It's like, oh. Somebody goes, Twitter. It wasn't me. I was like, that's a good one. Oh. Yes. But this is not an X generation Superman. It's a generational Superman movie. Those of us that are in their 50s can enjoy it. And those of us that are in their 20s can enjoy it. And those of us that are younger can enjoy it. PG-13, but there's, except for like cartoonish comic book violence, I would say that if you know your kids who are 12 or 13, that'd be fine. There's really no problem. There's a scene where he barfs up the nanites. It's gross, but so what? They've seen worse. That'd be fine. It's like, there's nothing in this movie that's gonna, it's a PG-13 that back in the 80s would have been PG. It's really not bad. So it's like they took elements of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies and the comic books, and they said, this is what works. Let's do one of these stories from one of the movies, but let's do this other one from this other movie, and this other one. Let's see stuff. And the Carta, the plated over Borg lady. The same kind of thing happens in this movie with what you've seen in the previous. You see the part in the scene where they're in the part of the show the stadium attack battle from the longer trailer from the TV. You saw what she was doing to him. That's in Carta. A little bit of a nod to DC in there, but just a little bit. Not. Yeah. I didn't know specifically what they were going to do. I didn't want to rip off the movie, so I'm referenced that scene from a previous Superman movie that appears kind of in this one too. I'm going to reference that. Actually, a number of things get referenced. You could say Carta is just part of the same weird extended universe. But yeah, I can't give away too much. That doesn't give away anything, really. Because the spoiler, it's talking about Superman Legacy, or Superman, the reboot. Yeah, it works. It's probably the best Superman movie since Superman 2. That's going back a long way. I think that's what they wanted to do. And that and it isn't just, they dangle the keys like the dog going after the sick the toy, the crypto. The dog goes after the drones. It's not just that. It's that and they've already spoofed it in they've already done a How It Should Have Ended spoof where they crossed it with Lex stealing the dog. It crossed with John Wick, which was funny. I haven't actually seen John Wick all the way through, but I know there's a dog involved. He goes on a killing spree in the movie. Yeah, not spoilers. It's in the story. Marx said, "Oh, that's a spoiler back in the day." It isn't though. That's like in the trailer. It's on the poster. It says it's about a dog. There's a dog involved. It's in the trailer. It's literally there. It's in the trailer. But yes, that's not a spoiler. He has a dog. It's not a spoiler. It would be a spoiler if the dog got killed. Yes, that would be a spoiler in the John Wick. Anyway, so I'm not going to give away who the dog, the other stuff. But you already know from some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that there are other characters from the Superman universe introduced in this, as well as some other comic book characters that are unusual because they didn't want to just free tread over what they just did, really, just a few years ago with the Justice League movie. They didn't want to go like, oh, do that again. Although it would be cool to eventually see them again, but better. I want to see Cyborg and Batman and Robin in there. I even want to see the Wonder Twins because it's funny. Because they kind of have a Wonder Twin guy. They kind of have that dude that melts and stuff and comes back and forms things. He's kind of a Wonder Twin. Yeah. So, but they made him cool because he's like a bad guy. Well, bad guy that turns good. Bad guy. That's kind of spoilers. Well, he's sort of he's sort of both. He's sort of morally questionable character in the story. But yes. Yeah, so, they also reference Gleek at one point, which was awesome. They go everywhere in this movie. Also, there was a preview for the Wicked 2, which has flying monkeys, so there you go. Which is an even more homoerotic trailer than the last one. Oh, Elsa, you're my only friend, but I have lots of friends. You're my only friend. It's like, wow, okay. Are those two going to start making out? Because that'd be different. That's not even in the book. No. The spaceship pops out. I like how the spaceship in the movie kind of looked like the space bug thing from the guy's spaceship. Looked like the Watchman ship, the owl thing, kind of, a little bit, the space pod ship thing. Yeah, it kind of did. Yeah, like they painted it white and put stuff on it. It's not, but it looks similar. Drone ships flying around. Anyway, so yeah, Superman, best movie of the year so far. Best comic book movie of the year so far. Oh, that's all endorsement. Yeah, easily 4 stars. Just awesome. This movie was awesome. Go see Superman, the reboot. Go see it. Don't let them spoil it for you. Don't let them think that it's not good, because it is really good. And they're just sour grapes. They're just all, no, this movie isn't dark and brooding enough. There are dark and brooding parts though. He spends some of the movie all messed up and stuff. Yeah, it's sort of like Die Hard with Superman. He keeps getting his tail whooped and then coming back from it, and then getting repaired. But yeah, it's like, yeah, he's like not infallible, and that's cool because yeah, there are some weak points here and there, but any movie has those. They are back to the weird visual camera angle thing. The left and right zoom thing in this movie a little bit, but that's mainly during the large IMAX size scenes, and I was on the IMAX X screen, so it probably, if you saw it on the smaller screen, it probably looks a little dead. It doesn't look Screen X. It was a Screen X. It's kind of like IMAX. If you see it in the regular like aspect ratio, it probably doesn't show up as much. There are some scenes with the camera angles. And I think it's because it looks like some parts of it were rushed, but I think they work anyway because the movie's supposed to he's more concerned with the characters and the character development, their story, and the action sequences. In the same way that the first Aquaman movie was more interested in the characters and the dynamic between the brothers, which was basically Shakespearean. This one is too. So yeah, in some ways, yeah, Shakespearean / Greek tragedy. Whereas Aquaman 2 was a hot mess. Shazam was a hot mess. Shazam 2. Shazam 1 was okay, except for the ending scene got a little weird with the carnival thing. Shazam 2 was a mess because it was supposed to be Black Adam that he was fighting, and the actor who got too big for his britches, we know who he is, we know of him, he's like, I want to have my own movie, I want my standalone movie. So they're like, okay, you have your standalone movie, Rock, you have your standalone movie. It's like, no, he should have been the bad guy. The other two being the bad guy makes no sense. If it was him, it would make more sense. It'd be like, oh, this actually goes together now. Yeah. Yeah, and it is a little weird that the character of Shazam goes from a boy to an adult, which means that as a boy, he can screw around with the timeline and then turn into adult again, or vice versa. It's messed up. It's that big thing. Which in Wonder Woman 84 they didn't get, and they thought, oh, let's just have that happen, the body swap thing. All they needed to do was just have him wished into existence. No body swap, no cameo by Gal Gadot's husband. And nothing against Gal Gadot, except that I do know that she cannot play a villain from that movie back in the Seven Dwarf movie. She can't play a villain. This newer person who plays the villain actually does a better job playing a villain. The nanite lady. Yeah, the Borg lady. Yeah, she's Borg. So there's a Borg Kestra in the Superman movie. Okay. It's not okay. Sure. Why not? I think she's supposed to be somebody else, but she's the Borg Kestra. Time traveler. What are you doing here? Meta-human. What? Mutants. Thingy. Nanite thingy. Yeah, she's sort of a reinvention of Cyborg in a way. She's the Borg, right? Yeah, Cyborg. Just like a cool version of Cyborg. No Fantastic Four trailer, though, in this one. And the other one there was. Fantastic Four trailer. Yeah, this is the one where the Lady Silver Surfer shows up and they're like, oh, and the right wingers all mad. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, that's different, though. That'll be fine. Let me next week. Maybe I'll get a preview for that one, too. Anyway, this is Superman. Yeah. Of course, here's Mark's cards, who just showed up on the set.
Yes.
I just reviewed the Superman.
Midst of a Superman review. I haven't seen it yet, so I have no opinion.
I'm not going to spoil it. No, it's awesome. It's good. It's good. Yeah. I say it's the best one since the second one.
I figure it's got to be better than the Snyder one.
Oh, it's way better than the Snyder ones. He thought he was making Watchmen.
They have their defenders, but it's not for me.
Yeah, they're all complaining online because they're whiny babies.
They're complaining that it's not a Zack Snyder one.
Yep.
Well, maybe in the next one it could be filmed all in like grayscale, and he could just, I'm super.
I think he thought that he was. But yes, we should go to dinner.
Yes.
Yes. And the right wingers are complaining because the movie apparently really makes fun of a certain rich guy.
Also, he mentioned online the other day that it's essentially a story about an immigrant, and a bunch of them melted down, and they're like, no, he isn't, and it's like,
yeah, he is.
He's the very definition
of an immigrant.
He's not from Earth. He immigrated here from Earth.
Exactly. I'm going to put you in the review.
I don't know. The thing is, they hear the word and they plug in like some boogeyman or something, and that's not Superman. He's not,
even though he's
climbing the wall in Mexico or what. It's like that's not what. Whatever.
Anyway, so yeah.
Literally, it's the definition of the character. He's from another world. He's an immigrant.
Yeah, it's literally from the beginning
it's not a political
of the show.
Thing. It's literally the definition of where he's from.
When also they were complaining about Lex Luthor being like the guy who started X, but he is. Lex Luthor is an evil tech genius guy from the comics way back when.
They did that in that movie Glass Onion too, if you've seen that. Edward Norton plays.
He's a tech. He's supposed to be an evil tech bro guy. It's like he's that in the comics and in all of the movies.
You know what's funny is
all of them.
The fact that they assume it's about their guy or their guy, politics or whatever, even though it's a fictional person who isn't named that. It's kind of telling on themselves when they do that.
Yeah, because it's
like this movie's against fascism, and they go, "Oh, you're attacking me!" It's like, why did you think that was an attack on you?
It's like when they say that Antifa thing. It's
like,
what?
You're fascist?
Yeah, because yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So. James Gunn is of course going to make fun of and deconstruct everything. I mean, sure, why not? And it's
he makes bold, creative choices. That's kind of his stamp.
There's some awesome stuff.
I will go see it.
I don't want to give anything away, but there's some amazing.
Led to understand it's just wall-to-wall nudity,
no.
gore, it's super depressing.
It's PG-13. Oh my God.
Oh wait, that's right. It's not a Zack Snyder movie.
Anyway, we should go out to dinner then. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But
yeah.